You've heard of Wunderfan. If you golf, you've heard of WunderPar. Well, guess what? Because this is the WunderPod. Drop your socks and grab your Crocs, as if we needed another podcast in this oversaturated market. There's everyone. My dog actually has two podcasts he's recording today. We don't. No one needs this show until you realize, oh, this is actually super helpful. This is the WunderPod, of course, sponsored by the Wunderfan app. It is a podcast that pretty much gives you like a 3D real estate tour of the Wunderfan app, in addition to walking you through the things you may have missed last week, or the things that you may have saw but didn't have our angles. And when I say our, I mean the angle of myself, the host, Henry Markin, and of course, please welcome the newest member of the Wunderfan WunderPOD team, Mr. Evan Hand, an absolute Swiss Army knife in the social media realms. You've seen him for sure on your small devices. This dude is everywhere. He's a genius, and he's brilliant in the world of technology, social media, and sports, and he's one hell of a co-host. Evan, welcome.
I am so happy to be here and happy to be part of the Wonder Co. and now the WunderPod, which was the natural evolution of where this was always going to go. Mm-hmm. So
it's always a podcast. It's always like you just have one moment, like in some Walmart parking lot or a Target, and it used to be you would go on Ellen and you would get interviewed and then you get a free trip to Hawaii. Now, after you have your moment and you hawk Tua all over some dude's man on the street content, now it's a podcast. Now we need more.
And a crypto scam.
Yes. Yeah. So the crypto scam, with any help, we'll have that ready for you guys soon. Actually, no, that's the coolest part about WunderPod is that we are not crypto. We actually already have an app behind us, the Wunderfan app. That is the title sponsor of the show. Wunderfan, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, and this is just, you've just been watching words hit your face like birds to a windshield. It's the sports fan rewards app that's made for the average sports fan, the casual, the diehard, and anyone in between. Wunderfan is a free sports fan rewards app that allows you to earn rewards just for watching sports, no matter who wins. It's absolutely free. I've said it 6 times. It's free because it is. All you do is you just have to either go to a game or take a picture of the game on your TV on the Wunderfan app, and you're earning points, which is Wonder, and you're on your way to earn cash rewards, real gift cards on the Wonder shop. You can also wager your Wonder. There's a I believe it's a 5-letter word that starts with a G that many Americans really like to do. Right? Did I get my numbers right?
I think it's 6.
It's 6. It's a 6-letter GAMBLE. That is 6 letters. That's what you know an Indiana University degree will do for you folks. Go Hoosiers. Great. Anyways, all right, this is the WunderPod. And you're going to be hearing from us once or twice a week. And today is Thursday, August 21st. Before we get into what I want to talk about, it's not a WunderPod episode sponsored by Wunderfan if I don't actually fangirl here for a second. Or actually, what's the opposite of fangirling? I have something to say about the San Francisco Giants that I have to get off my chest.
You're a hater.
I'm a fan, but I'm frustrated with the Giants.
Frustrated fan?
Yes. This is... as I watched the Padres just sink their teeth into the shoulder of the Giants last night for sport. I just dragged them through the mud for sport. The Padres weren't even playing for anything last night. Everybody knows the Padres and the Dodgers, they're going to have this grand reunion in the playoffs again. I couldn't help but remember, like less than 3 months ago, the Giants were trying to win a World Series. I was just in my feelings last night, deep in my feelings. Like Marvin's Room was playing in the background, and I was scrolling through the standings months ago. June 14th, June 14th this year, the day before we signed Rafael Devers, the Giants had a record. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
The Giants were 40-29. They were 11 games above 500, one half game behind the Dodgers. The Dodgers were leading the NL West, 41-28 record. We were 40-29. We were 3 up on the Padres. We were kings of the wild card. Held on to that wild card like with a chokehold. The next day, I'm in Eugene, Oregon, and I get this bring, a Jeff Pison bomb, and I'm like, I don't care about baseball. What am I getting ESPN alerts about baseball? Like, somebody die, and it's breaking news, possibly the equivalent of the Luka trade in baseball. Rafael Devers is now in the San Francisco Giants, and I'm like, are you? And I look at the trade. We gave up Kyle Harrison, good player, and nothing else, just in picks and ideas and concepts. Like, when you trade, like, oh, here's a couple of swaps, and here's concepts of a player, here's ideas of a player, here's drawings, here's a outline of a possibility of a maybe. I hate baseball trades sometimes because in the end, the possibilities of a maybe of a concept actually now plays for Pittsburgh, or they're in Detroit now. It doesn't matter. Yeah. We got Rafael Devers for nothing, June 15th. And I'm thinking we're going to win the World Series. That's just the exact thing. You're one half game behind the Dodgers. These are the exact kind of moves that are made to win a World Series. And the very next day begun one of the most historic shit slides in the history of this organization. We are the worst team in baseball, statistically, emotionally, physically, since getting Devers that day. We are now 5 games below 500, completely out of the playoff race, completely like borderline. Should we just tank for the rest of the year? Should we just blow it up, even though we were trying to hoist up a trophy less than 3 months ago? You're
going through it. You're going through it right now,
dude. It's like, and I'm trying to put this in perspective for the average fan, because there are teams that suck, right? And and I get the idea that you're, oh yeah, try being a Mets fan, or try being a Pirates fan. No, I don't want to be. That sucks. First of all, no, thank you. Second of all, those guys weren't in a position to, maybe the Mets, but a lot of teams are like, oh, try being a Rockies fan, try being a White Sox fan. It's like, yeah, nobody looked at the White Sox on June 15th and said, these guys can win a World Series. Or no one thought before the season began, I think something's a brewing in Denver. I think the Rocky Mountain High is gonna click. It. No one said that. Nobody. June 15th, you got Jeff Pison comparing the Giants to the Lakers, basically saying, oh yeah, Buster Posey just absolutely fleeced Boston. Isn't Boston doing phenomenal right now?
They are.
Yeah.
They are doing well.
Oh my God.
You did a video one time after Luka got traded.
Yes.
You put the Luka trade into girl terms.
Yeah.
So something similar for the Giants could be, this girl is with her boyfriend. He's not anything, magnificent, right? But he gets the job done, right? Mm-hmm. Good job, treats you well, all that stuff. But then you see the shiny new object, which is a new man. Say he's a professional athlete, or he makes $500,000 a year, and they went to go get that man, but now that man's cheating on them. Is that accurate to say that's the Giants right now?
Yeah, I think it's they go get that man. Here, let me one up you. They go get that man, shiny. You've got a great relationship, right? Mm-hmm. You go get that man. You're like, ooh, he's ripped. He's an influencer. Mm-hmm. He's got great credit. Like, this is everything I need. I found my unicorn, right? Because people are
Yeah.
saying that Rafael Devers is the second coming of Bonds. You just got the next Barry Bonds, who's not doing steroids for the next 10 years. And you're like, okay, cool. Um, yeah, I'll happily leave, my, run of the mill, solid the earth
Average guy.
boyfriend, average
Mhm.
guy. Hey,
Mhm.
thanks for everything. But I really just, I want this great, perfect man. And you go get him and you realize that he doesn't have a penis. He literally does not have the male genitalia. He doesn't have anything. He can't do anything. You're like, how am I supposed to have a family?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a
Like
good one.
there's nothing there's nothing. That's what the Giants have done. The Giants have not produced anything. How could you reproduce with someone that doesn't like? It's not even getting political. He just doesn't. There's just nothing. Like it's closed. Like
Yeah.
it's just
It's just
legs.
skin.
It's
It's
legs and
straight skin.
skin.
Yep.
It's like an action figure, right? It's just
Okay.
like when you it's like a Spider-Man toy or like that's just where the legs start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. I'm not saying Devers is like that. I'm saying, obviously for our listeners, it's the metaphysical
The
embodiment.
analogy.
The
Yeah. Yeah.
analogy, yeah.
Mhm.
But that's a good recall of you pulling that Luca thing.
That's yeah. I
Yeah.
watched it a couple weeks ago. Just an incredible analysis. You didn't even stop the video. You just went straight on the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it just baffled me that trade. I'm not a Lakers fan, but that trade will forever be just the dumbest move you could possibly do. Obviously, you could be right about a few things with, okay, like let's say the Mavs actually like do something this year, and you're like, okay, well, like Cooper Flag coming in is the biggest cop out. It's one of the biggest cop outs in sports history because that had nothing to do with the brilliance of the GM or the plan, the vision. You just won the lottery. Like you luck, purely luck. And they say like it's better to be lucky than good. No, you were bad
Mm-mm.
and lucky. But
You're not thinking deep enough. It is pure conspiracy.
yeah,
There was collusion.
for sure. Yeah. And I hate going down that rabbit hole because like at the end of the day, you and I have this great conversation, and then we leave, and our tinfoil hats we clink, and we get stuck at the door because we have all these parachutes of information and knowledge that we're just trapped to. But truly, like they could be right about a few things, but at the end of the day, it just makes no. He was the heart of the city. You're building. You're trying to build a franchise around somebody and you're saying, oh, we want to win championships, we want to build around good health, and we want to build for the future. That's why we brought in 30 plus year old Anthony Davis
Yeah.
and 30 plus year old Clay Thompson, who's already with 30 plus and injury prone Kyrie Irving. And we want to win championships with defense, and none of those guys can play the defense they used to play. And we want to build around good health, and none of those guys can finish the season. It doesn't make nothing. There's not a
No
lot of
sense.
no sense. No
No
sense.
sense. No
Yes.
sense at all.
And then you didn't even tell Kid, and no, the Palinka just like probably got like this email. Hey, you want to do this? He's probably like, this is a bit. This is a prank. No,
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher, where are you? You're going to come
What?
around the corner.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm even if the Mavericks win the finals next year, it's still not a good trade because you could argue that Cooper Flag and everything else that went right for them just via luck or collusion.
The luck. The
Yeah,
luck.
had
The luck collusion.
nothing to do with the brilliance of the move. They just, I don't know.
It's puzzling.
It's puzzling,
It's puzzling.
and it could really set me off. But speaking of, I'll tell you what doesn't set me off though, and I did want to talk about this. One of our great associates here at Wunderfan, Seth Griffin. He's in charge of product design. Just another Renaissance man, Swiss Army knife. He was doing a commercial shoot in Alabama, and Charles Barkley was there. And this goes to show you just what a sweet dude Charles Barkley is. Seth walked up to Chuck and was like, hey, my niece is interested in a few SEC schools, not Auburn. Chuck, what do you have to say about this? And Barkley gave like the most Charles Barkley response ever. I mean, you saw the video. It's just
I saw the video. Unreal. Great guy though.
Dude, so he looks good too, by the way.
Does look good. He's he's on that I saw a commercial the other day. He's on one of those GLPs.
Yeah, he's on like the Row or something.
Yes, Row, that's no free ads.
No free ads. Right. Yeah, no free ads, but he's on Row. The guy was, I mean, Charles Barkley is now canon with Wunderfan Media. Like, he is in the Wunderfan cinematic universe.
He is. He's here.
Oh my God, it was so great. And the fact is, like, you know how many things has left his mouth that will be forever ingrained in how we view culture. Like, I will never go to San Antonio again without constantly thinking about do the women in San Antonio live up to Charles Barkley's standards. Like, I'm walking around like, every time I'm in San Antonio, which is I've been one time, I just walk around. I just think, is Chuck right? I'm trying to see if Chuck is right. And now
I just think about his voice. He's got one of the most unique voices in probably all of sports.
Yeah. And how he uses it too, because he's one of those guys where he's actually better when he's dead wrong. And then we're in an age where, you know, we're sort of getting sick of the Stephen A's and the talking heads that are just talking for clicks. But with Chuck, it's not funny when he's right. It's actually the price of admission. Your ticket is punched, and everything is worth it when he's dead wrong. When Chuck is giving he guarantee it. Like, I live for him just being dead wrong. I would be pissed if he was right.
There's actually nothing funnier than any other commentator or announcer or anything just being dead wrong. You know, right. Being that they're like professional analysts who get paid millions of dollars a year, and then they're just completely wrong.
Yeah, wait, what? Like this is an analyst now? Just like how do you become? You just have a following. You just have like, because to analyze something, to be an analyst means you see it differently. And I think they're throwing the word analyst around like it's pizza dough. Like, there is no what is
Dan
it?
Orlovsky.
Yeah.
Dan Orlovsky.
Oh my God. Like, and nothing against Dan either. I'm sure he's great, but like, he had a few good calls, and then they're like, you know what? Screw it. You're the head of all football. Like. Like, everything football now runs through Dan.
Yeah.
And then I was a guy who watched Dan play, watched him run out of the back of the end zone. I'm thinking, no, everything did not run through Dan. Dan ran through the goal line backwards. So I'm confused with how like what NBC is doing with Michael Jordan, making him sort of like a special analyst. That's something. That means something. That Michael Jordan is basketball. He sees it differently. And now he's going to analyze the game as he sees it. That is an analyst, right? That's what it means to analyze and come in as an analyst, special analyst.
You know who else does that during broadcasts? Your
Who?
favorite guy. Your second favorite guy, Tony Romo.
Oh. That's exactly right, Jim.
I got him going.
That's exactly right, Jim. It's just, watch here. Mike Bagger's going to come out through the blitz, Jim. It's just, Jim.
I don't know.
I actually love Tony Romo. I love all the guys that I do comedy on. I think Collinsworth, like, just is Sunday Night Football. Yeah. It's like, how can you get mad at bacon and eggs? You know, it's
doesn't get old.
Doesn't get old.
Good.
It's always there. And in fact, you're somewhat frustrated and confused if it's not there. People are like, "Oh, I can't stand Collinsworth." What do you want? The man is football.
We
Tony,
listen. If the slide was gone tomorrow, we would all miss it.
yeah. Yes, 100%. And Tony Romo is kind of the same thing, kind of, because what Tony Romo brings to the game is, not to use his literal phrase, but it's a real, Jim, it's real cat and mouse here. It's a game of cat and mouse. He creates the perfect, like, tug of war for Jim Nantz to come in, who's just a straight shooter. He's got this buttery honey voice. Just, I mean, one of the best play-by-play callers in sports ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Final Fours, Masters, football. Guy can do no wrong. And you got Romo, who was calling plays, was arguably so good at his job, so good at predicting plays before they happen, that they asked him to stop because some of the dumber and slower viewers in certain parts of the country didn't like that they had the game spoiled for them before they happened.
Which is crazy.
And I think, like, yes, like, let people watch the game. No one wants to go to a movie with someone that has already seen it, right? And say, like, oh, watch this part's, but, like,
Different story.
different
Completely
story.
different story there. He
That's
doesn't
his,
know that that's the play.
it's his skill. He's an analyst.
Exactly. Exactly. He's a true analyst.
And so he's so to if like all those things are, like, I wouldn't say they're flaws. They're just characteristics of his persona in the booth. But imagine being so good at your job that you're told to put a lid on it, that you have to have your wings clipped. I'd be a little frustrated too. I think I would start saying, like, it's a real game of cat and mouse, Jim. Oh, Jim, I just can't get 2 feet in bounds here. Like, I think I would start to lose my shit a little bit. And, like, I remember that first Raiders Titans game that he called. You remember that first game he called where he was like 9 of 9 of, like, oh, it's 3rd and 2 here, Jim. Watch the outside flat. Derek Carr's gonna hit Jacoby Myers right here. Yep. Could see tomorrow away, Jim. Like, that is that
I liked it.
I do
I
too.
liked it. Yep.
I do too. And I'll never understand hating on someone for being so good at what they do. Like, when people hate on Steph Curry because he changed the game, like, oh, I can't stand Steph. He ruined basketball. What do you mean he ruined basketball? He opened the floor up.
Exactly. He arguably made it better. There's nothing better than seeing somebody pull up from 40 feet and nailing it.
And the fact that you have to guard these guys at 40 feet now actually creates the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Not to go homer on you and, like, make this all Warriors and Giants and poo-poo Bay Area sports, but what casuals don't, and I literally hate calling people casuals because I think it's so demeaning. It's like one of those insults where it's almost a slur now, because it implies, like, it's a short-sighted remark implying that someone who probably does watch a lot of sports does not know ball at all. And you hit him with a casual, it neglects their history.
Mm-hmm.
It subjects them to this realm of idiots, and they don't think they are. They're misrepresented. I would say casual is close to being an internet slur that is, I mean, obviously it's a great word still, but it has the same weight.
It's offensive.
Yeah.
It's offensive.
And
Not that, I mean, yeah.
It's offensive, but for good reason. And I'm going to defend why I'm calling people casuals. When people say Steph Curry ruined the game, oh, you were a casual. Because what he does on a nightly basis, the fact that he makes you guard him the second he inbounds the ball, you have to pick him up. You have to, before the Warriors got Jimmy Butler, he was getting doubled and then tripled. He was getting doubled at half court and then tripled. It allows the entire floor to open up. When the Warriors were in their peak, when we were hanging banners left and right, it was because Steph created so much attention swallowing, like a vacuum of worry, that on fast breaks, people are like literally on Steph's leg, like as he's in the corner. And so like Draymond Green and KD and Clay, they have like a dunk in transition, and you're just running teams out of the gym. You have to guard
It's
everybody else because you have to guard Steph, and then everyone else has like a one-on-one or like a one-on-nothing.
it's the same thing as defenses discovering too high shell in the
Yes.
NFL to
Yes.
stop the deep balls. So now you have to establish the run. It changed the game. Did it ruin the game? Maybe.
And nobody talks about, nobody says like, oh, the too high shells, it was the death of football. It's like, no, it's just coverage. It's just whatever.
Strategic.
It's just another move. It's
Part of the
just
game. Part of the
chestnut
game.
checkers.
Yep.
Okay. Speaking of being miserable, let's segue into we've been talking about this all week. There's you made that great map for the Wunderfan socials. If you had a chance to see it, if you've seen it already on social, that map was made by Evan, and it's truly hilarious to look at. If you can bottle up depression and categorize that into areas, and I've never looked at an aerial view like that before, because you identify, you're like, okay, like Chicago's probably, they had one and they had a great run in the 90s, but recently
Mhm.
things are looking pretty bleak, and you move over to the true north, right, with Minnesota and the Dakotas, and you're like, ooh, there's nothing there. They have nothing. And then you scooch on down to California, that strip of like it's a rotation. Like the Bay Area teams in between the Giants and then the Warriors and the Niners going back and keeping it interesting. It was hot in San Francisco, and
Mhm.
now it's hot in LA. Like it's this flip flop, and some places haven't seen anything.
Yeah. Just straight death. And I would say a lot of teams have you don't look at it at this high level view, but then you look at it on this map, which is obviously a little subjective
Yes.
towards me, and also a little bit of AI in there as well. But when you think about the South, you don't think of like death and despair. But then you look at this map, you do think about it in depth. They haven't had anything really.
Yeah, all they have as far as pro sports goes is the Saints won in 2009,
Mm-hmm.
right? They won, and arguably they probably shouldn't even been there if the Vikings and Brett Favre didn't throw that pick across the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
mean, is
Yep.
that the South really only has college football because pro sports just isn't getting it done?
It's not. I mean, Atlanta made the Super Bowl, lost
Yep.
to obviously 28-3. They're haunted
Yep.
by that every day.
Forever.
Panthers made the Super Bowl, got blown
Lost.
out.
Yep.
So they really don't have like you think about the South, you don't think that it's too bad, but then you actually look at it and they're dry.
If Bama and LSU, and I guess just the success of the SEC wasn't there. I mean, I totally understand why people eat away their feelings in the South. Like,
Yeah.
I
Barbecue.
yeah, I get that. That makes sense. You're like, give me the ice cream, and I just gotta get to January for another sport. And then it's like, I gotta get to May for another sport when it doesn't work out. And then when it doesn't work again, I just wait till football season. It's just year round of sad eating. I get it. I know why people are big. Let's do this. Let's have a draft of the most miserable regions for a sports fan in America. And let's do pro sports, because
Pro sports.
college, once you get in college, you could be that guy that's like, well, Middle Tennessee has pretty good swimming.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, all right,
Yeah.
well, I
Yeah.
guess you're always happy. This is
I
purely pro sports.
I actually made the college graphic this morning. It took me like 2 hours to
You
do it.
did.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
I'll release that maybe tomorrow.
I bet you Indiana, the Indiana Bloomington area is, what is it, bright red?
It's a bright green. So much success over there, you have no idea.
It
Just
was,
kidding. Yeah, it's
yeah,
red.
it's red because all of our success actually predates not just the iPhone, but predates like the idea of, hey, what if we had like this device where we could like type? It's like, no, it's like It's almost fossilized. That's what I'm holding on to. I'm blowing dust off all my success.
Yeah.
All
Hmm.
right, let's draft the most miserable regions in pro sports fandom in America. All right, you want to go first?
I'll go first. Okay.
Okay.
Number one, I think this is an obvious pick here.
Yeah.
Got to be Buffalo. Western New York, Buffalo. You can't go to 4 straight Super Bowls, lose every single one of them, and also have a dog crap hockey team,
Yep.
uh, and then not be miserable. I mean, you're on the come up now. You got Josh Allen. You're going to AFC championships, but you can't beat the Chiefs. I think Bills take the number one spot there for me easily.
Yeah, that's a really good call. And I think it is so sad because we kind of take for granted like every year that we get the Bills Chiefs matchup or some capacity the Bills are right. I mean, that's got to suck. Like every year Bills fans know, okay, this season doesn't matter, because we're gonna be right there, 10-6
Yeah.
or 13-3, whatever. It
Hmm.
doesn't we're gonna get there, and they know what's waiting for them every single. It's like tax day.
Just one guy.
Oh my
Just one
god.
guy.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm here. It's like Kermit the Frog. I'm here. I'm
I'm
here.
here.
I'm
I'm
here.
here.
Oh, dude, imagine that. And then imagine like four. I can't process losing 4 Super Bowls in a row.
I can't process going to 1 Super Bowl, let alone going to 4 and losing every single one of them.
Like I've lost to the Chiefs twice now in the Super Bowl, and that's as shitty as it sounds. It really it does suck, but like every year a calendar date meetup with the Chiefs, like
Yeah.
a beatdown every year as scheduled. That's
Hmm.
crazy. Like the Niners spontaneity of going to the Super Bowl when we did in 2020 and then again 2 years ago. Like the fact of the matter is we shouldn't have beaten the Lions. They were so much better than us
Hmm.
that game and Dan Campbell just shit down his leg. Like playing the Chiefs was house money. Just another week of 2 weeks of football was just that was the reward. 4 Super Bowls in a row. Surely you're going to get statistically you have to get
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh God.
And on top of that, a hockey team, which is notoriously bad.
Yeah.
And then you have one of the best prospects in the last decade on your team, Jack Eichel,
Mhm.
and you trade him away.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, Buffalo's a good pick. Okay, so now I get two. My first one, and this was obvious for me. It has to be what we talked about, the true north, like Minnesota.
Mhm. Yep.
Oh, Minnesota and like the Dakotas. I actually give the Dakotas respect and permission to just break away from. They don't have to attach themselves.
Secede.
Yeah, you could secede the Minnesota sports fandom. Like you could move on to Canadian football, or you could grab a slice of the Great Plains if you really wanted to. The Minnesota sports is like the true tragedy of pro sports because Buffalo has pain that is incomprehensible. It's unimaginable pain, but it's so specific to football and base or hockey. Like you have the Bills and the Sabres. Minnesota, it's like take your pick across the board. They haven't won. They're in a 30+ year championship drought for
Mhm.
all men's sports. Football has lost in every way imaginable. Like every possible, you want to get blown out. You want to lose on a BS call. You want to how about a 4th and 8 check down loss against the Giants? What are we gonna do, Kirk? We need 8 yards. Well, let me just swing it over to my right for a handful of yards, and
Yeah.
we'll get it back
True.
on the next play.
Mhm.
Like, I and I the reason that this is actually satisfying to me is because the Wolves beat the Warriors this year in the playoffs, and everybody who has even a decent ability to process information and a decent use of their sense of sight could see that the second Steph Curry got hurt, it was a very different series,
Mhm.
right? Steph Curry, when he was healthy, the Warriors are probably going to win, whether it's 7 games, 6 games, 5, perhaps a sweep. There was nothing
Mhm.
they could do to stop Steph Curry at 13 points in 10 minutes. He was in his bag. Steph was not losing to no Wolves. And then he gets hurt. And it's like all the Wolves fans were like, oh, yeah, we're going to win the finals now. Like, no, you're not. You're just going to beat us and you're going to get zapped literally like a fly to a fly swatter in the next round to the Thunder. And it was like shocking. Like they're so dense at times. They didn't know they were on borrowed time. And that's what makes it so funny is that they thought, okay, we beat the Warriors. They've won a handful of finals.
Mhm.
We're next.
We're the best.
We're the best.
We're
It's
the
like,
best.
oh, you poor guys. Yeah, for me, it's Minnesota.
And on top, yeah, the Wild. I mean, they're okay.
Yeah,
They've made the playoffs a couple times. No Stanley Cup appearances.
nothing.
No chips, obviously.
Yeah,
What are you rooting for?
it's very easy to just to neglect Minnesota sports because you're like, oh yeah, well they're gonna choke. There's no other region where I think like a blind like prediction like who's gonna Minnesota's gonna lose because that's what they've done for the past 30 years. They've been doing
That's all
that.
they do.
That's all they do. They've been doing that longer than I've been alive. Both of us have been alive for less amount of time than Minnesota's been choking away
Yeah.
championships. It's crazy. Okay, my second pick. This is also kind of easy and obvious for me. Give me the greater Arizona sports region.
That was my next pick. I was going to pick that.
Yeah, that's too easy.
Yeah.
The Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix Suns. What do you? I mean, look no further than the epiphany of rebuild. They were the worst, and we're that. I mean, they were right there. They were 2 games away with Chris Paul and Booker. And it's like, oh my God, they're going to descend even lower than they were. They're on their way to being one of the worst teams, one of the worst organizations. It's just you're like, how can it get any worse than what it was? Oh, you are on that slide now. Oh
On
man,
top of that, Diamondbacks haven't won a World Series. They've won what, 2001?
they have one. They
Um,
have that's the whole thing is built on one championship and arguably the least entertaining sport, baseball, right?
Yep.
I
Wow.
mean, it's not any less significant in terms of like the challenge of winning a championship, but it's like, okay, well, cool. Like
We got one.
you got one. I think you prefer it be a Super Bowl, and you blew it. You were winning the game. Larry Fitzgerald takes it to the house. 2 minutes left. It's done. It's over. And you let Ben Roethlisberger get hot, and San Antonio Holmes like, and then on top of that, like you had a couple other opportunities, like where you had like pretty good teams that just get forgotten, that just into the ether of nah.
And now you're relying on a 4'7", quarterback
Who
who's like
also is
mid.
like at any point could just say, I'm gonna go play baseball because I'm out.
or video games.
Or video games or Call of Duty. Like the second that, that's the thing. They could be 5-1, and then come November when Black Ops
Call of Duty
6
comes out. Yeah.
is released, it's like, see ya, bye season. I gotta double up my XP.
And then just salt in the wound on top of all of that. They have a NHL team
Yeah.
who plays in the smallest arena known to man, and they just get eliminated. Like they're just gone forever.
They're
Cavs.
now literally you lost. Your hockey team was so bad that they're now Utah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just gone forever.
Gone.
You never
Gone.
see them again.
Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine being so awful that it's just you actually don't get to have this team anymore. Goodbye.
You
Yeah.
get relegated.
E-
Relegated.
Eliminated. Gone.
Mhm.
Evaporated. All right. So I got Minnesota and Arizona. Who's your pick?
Number 2 for me has got to be Detroit.
Mm.
A bit it's kind of a hot take just because of you had the bad boys, obviously. Pistons had their last championship in 2004. Lions have never been to a Super Bowl though. And they got their dicks kicked in last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, they didn't really get their dicks kicked in, but they just
No,
lost.
they did. They
Yeah.
did. I mean, because Dan Campbell told O'Connell of the Vikings, "We'll see you in 2 weeks." After they played each other the last year, they're like, well, "Who cares? We have the 1 seed. We'll see you in 2 weeks." They met 2 weeks later in Cabo. I mean, not literally, but like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah, yeah.
ugh. The,
Yes.
and that's also like automobile America, grit America,
Mhm.
like we don't have much, but we have our sports, and that's what we love, and that's what we got. And you barely have sports, barely,
Yeah, the Red Wings were dominant 20 years ago, but
right?
since then it's just been like a dumpster fire.
And the Tigers, did they have one World Series? They have a couple World Series,
See, I don't even think about that's my brain is like I don't even think about baseball.
right?
So I don't know. I'll have to let me
But
see.
I
Let
th-
me
but I, but I think you're onto something by you're saying the bad boys, they're holding the weight of championships on their shoulder, but that's 20 plus years ago.
Yeah. Any championship is 20 plus years ago. So the
What
last 1984
was the
for the
Tigers?
for the Tigers.
Because
1984 and
yeah,
then like two when, Plumbers were the best pitcher in the league in like
right.
1930s.
Yeah, wait, what's your number? What's your year where you're like, I don't recognize that as canon? Like for me, I think it's like it has to be like well after World War II
Easily.
because
Easily.
a lot of the
I mean,
best people were fighting overseas. You said that's when you had legit plumbers and like
yeah.
carpenters and masonry guys, mailmen that were like, yeah, I can make it to the game at 6 after my shift.
Yeah. We'll pay you in milk and cigarettes.
Exactly. I think my number is I'm actually taking a step further. The game tape needs to be in color before I recognize. I'm not even saying like they're not good, but I'm saying I can't even recognize that as team success because the game's so different now. Like I don't think of like the San Francisco Giants won championships as the New York Giants in the 50s. It's like that means nothing to me. I don't even
I
care about that.
totally with you. 'Cause obviously, Jets fans here.
Yeah.
Jets fans here. We won Super Bowl 3
Yep.
with Joe Namath. We pretty much haven't won a Super Bowl, you know.
So that was in the 70s, right?
69.
69. You won a Super Bowl in 69. One Super Bowl, Super Bowl 3.
Super Bowl 3. Yeah.
Yeah, you damn near haven't. I mean, yeah, as far as you're concerned, you haven't seen shit.
No.
You've,
I
you've
haven't seen
seen
anything.
you've seen the butt fumble on national television.
Yep, have seen the butt fumble. Did see the
Then
butt fumble.
so I would say 60s and 70s, the emergence of really, scalable color on television. That's when we're recognizing stuff. But then what's the lease? What's a championship lease? Like how long can you really hold on to, well, we won X amount of years ago?
Again, like if you're a Detroit Tigers fan and the last time you won was whenever I said 1980s,
Yeah.
let it go, bro.
So
You know,
that's over. That lease is up.
it's long ago. I would say like 20 years tops.
20 years tops. So now answer me this. What about a dynasty? Like
Different story.
like if the Chiefs, let's say after this year the Chiefs lose, it doesn't go the way they think, and the Chiefs actually don't return ever again to what they had right now. Like like
Okay.
this is all they have for the next foreseeable 40 years. Let's say Patrick Mahomes never wins another one, and after
Hmm.
Mahomes, it's just they're just mid. Right? It's
Hell.
just
Yep.
just hell. You're right. They have this dynasty forever, and he's cemented as one of the greats forever. Does that in the history books, it's forever. But as a Chiefs fan, as someone from Kansas City, how long can you hold on to this as leverage in a debate? Obviously it's forever, but like, what's the lease? How long is it relevant, significant? How long can you keep riding the scooter of, well, we had a dynasty in the 2020s, like
I would
30
almost say
years?
that it has no expiration date within reason. So obviously, the farther away you get from that dynasty, the more irrelevant it becomes. So if you're 40 years down the road and you're like, "Oh yeah, back in 2020, we went to 3 Super Bowls in a row," like you're clutching at straws.
Sure, sure.
But say again in the same sense, like if you're a Patriots fan or a Chiefs fan, and it's 50 years from now, and you're 80 something years old on your deathbed, like it still means something in an argument.
It means something to you and the nurse who's about to put the catheter into your, genitalia. As it,
Yeah,
all right,
wiping your butt.
yeah, all right, we hold your breath here. Yeah, man,
Patrick
50,
Mahomes.
50 years ago, I blink.
Oh, that's a great bit, honestly. Collinsworth on his deathbed.
Yeah, as he's getting his or any sort of medical help. I live in Dodgertown or here in LA, and so I'm constantly like defending the Giants with every cell of my body. And people are telling me, they're like, you've got you only have a couple years left before you can't really talk about 2010 through 2014. And and I'm like, okay, that's crazy. A couple years left. Like we're a little over 10 years removed from, that. And albeit there hasn't been a lot of success in the last 10 or 12 years since, like, you take away, they made the playoffs in 16, right? And then they had the best record in 21. That's it, right? And then everything else has actually been a nightmare. But to say you got 3 years left to talk about a dynasty, that's crazy work. I think one championship, this is my meter. One championship is worth 20 years of display.
Okay.
I think one, because a championship is so hard to do. I think but 20 years, right? That's why people are shitting on the Cowboys, because it's been 30 years. And arguably the Niners, same thing. We had a dynasty in the 90s, but 30 years, you're like, all right,
Long time.
it's a long time. The Niners and the Cowboys are effectively the same thing. And I love how when America shits on the Cowboys, they kind of forget that the Niners technically have a longer drought and fewer Super Bowls, right?
If I were you, I wouldn't even bring this up.
I don't know why I just outed myself, but
Yeah.
but that's my point. Is I think one championship, you get 20 years. Your release of relevance, significance, and your right to talk shit, and your right to sort of, give him the Klay Thompson, to stand on your ring, to like, oh yeah, what's this? You have 20 years. So Seahawks, Richard Sherman, who loves, and I like Richard Sherman, but he loves to just remind people, I have a ring. I have a ring. What did they win? They won in 2013, 2012. Yeah. So you have 9 more years that you can do that and really still like have a compelling argument. Where the argument is, it's over for the other people. You can't, because like, what am I supposed to say? Like, but in 2050, it's like, turn
Only
the
if
page.
you're talking present day, though. Like
right.
a player talking about having a ring, totally different story, because it was relevant when they were in their prime.
Right.
But if you're like, obviously it's very dependent on the age of the person that you're talking to. So if you're talking to, Bob, who's 77 years old, like he's going to remember all those people when he was 20.
Yes.
But us, on the other hand, like Cowboys suck,
Right.
They've always sucked for us.
Yeah. And okay, I guess I should have clarified. The arena is like the lunch tables at recess, or like the cafeteria at work, or like the bar after the game. That's us, not players. It's us. Yeah, okay. So we have 20 years to glorify a championship before it's like, okay, no, it's
let it
counterfeit.
go, bro.
Yeah, it's counterfeit. Let it go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think a dynasty, if it's in the same century, I think you're good for the century.
I agree.
But the caveat is if the dynasty happened in the 90s and we're deep in 2045, like for the sake of the argument, Cowboys and Niners, if they don't do anything for the next 20 years, who cares about the
Hmm.
90s?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to even tell. So like if we're in like 2082,
Yeah.
and they're talking about the
The
Patriots
90s?
dynasty
Yeah. Yeah.
in the 2000, like will it be relevant? We don't know. I mean, I guess we'll have to, wait and see another 60 years.
I guess. All
We'll be
right.
back.
Okay. Let's conclude the draft. You get two picks and then I get one pick for the most miserable fans.
All right. Number actually, yeah, I get another one. Alaska, I'm gonna go with. You're around nobody. Your closest fan base is the Seahawks, but you don't really have any.
Or Russia. You could be like part of the Russian,
Yeah.
hockey league if you wanted
Okay.
to.
A lot of athletes coming out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and another one, probably gonna steal yours, Orlando.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one. Orlando is quite literally just one red dot of hell in an otherwise pretty successful state of champions.
Yeah. Everywhere else, you have success. You've got good teams. People are relatively happy, and then you have Orlando. Orlando
And
just sucks.
also, like, just geographically, I feel like I've been to Orlando. That might be the one of the more, I don't know. Orlando is definitely not my favorite place to visit in Florida at all. Like, you're completely landlocked. It's hot and muggy as hell. And it's
Hmm.
like, okay, cool. Well, at least we have these great sports in Orlando. No, the only thing you have in Orlando are mediocre to heartbreaking sports and theme parks.
Yep. Disney World, baby.
Disney World and
Yep.
Gatorland and
Swamps.
Universal
Yep.
Orlando Resort. Who wants to go to Universal Orlando? Me. And that's it. No sports. That sucks. Okay, I will conclude the draft with my last pick. You nabbed Orlando from me. Let me think here. Going back to your map. Talked about the South already. Talked about Buffalo. Ooh. You know what? Ah.
I don't know.
Oh, Jim. I think I want to take. Give me that. Give me Utah. Give me
Great
Utah.
pick.
Give me
Great pick.
Utah
Great
because
pick.
I think I think there's a really sneaky fan base in Utah that diehard fans because just objectively, there are a lot of very religious people in Utah, and
Mhm.
part of the religion is part of the Latter-day Saints movement, Mormonism, is family time and just staying at home and just being a good member of the house and watching sports. Like, there are a lot of people watching sports in Utah. There are a lot of fans. You can't drink as much at games, right? And the alcohol content is
At all.
significantly diluted, right? You can't. It's If you're trying to go to Utah to get drunk, you will be drinking for a long time, even up in elevation too. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a shot of beer. But you had the Jazz, and you had some really good teams with the Jazz, and then you had recently with the Jazz again with Donovan Mitchell, and like just being so close in two different centuries is a nightmare. Not to mention you are forever cemented as the team Michael Jordan beat. Like in one of the more legendary moments in sports, you are the forever loser of
Mhm.
that. Like, we cannot talk about Michael Jordan's success for the 10,000th, the millionth time without reminding people of Salt Lake. You lost. You suck. So now, what did you do? You're trying to expand. You're trying to get more teams. Salt Lake City is a thriving city for technology enterprise. That's great. It's beautiful to visit. There's a lot of hikes. Why don't we have more sports there? Let's get more sports in Utah. Well, good luck because the more you add, it's just more pain. By the way, it's not necessarily addition by addition. It
Hmm.
could be addition subtraction by addition. So, yeah, give me Utah, and I don't feel bad about it either at all.
Utah's a good pick. Great jerseys, though. Great jerseys.
Yeah, it is good. I like what they're doing with this ownership. What is it? The Ryan Smith, the Smith family, the new guy, this young guy who came in, owns the Jazz, and now he's bringing in the hockey club, the Mammoth, or is that what they're called, the Mammoth?
Ryan Smith.
Yeah,
Mammoth. Yep.
Ryan
Did they
Smith.
just a couple months ago?
Yeah, I think that's great. I just you're the more you add, it doesn't. The happier you get. Like
No.
Utah, you're
No.
good if you start losing and you're not good, you're going to be one of those fan bases that is really tired and miserable. FYI,
Mhm.
like
All
just
done.
having the Jazz alone and being as passionate about sports as Mormons are, as I know they can be. I have a lot of Mormon friends. Oh, good luck. It's fun having a sports team. It's really fun. It's not fun having just an annual reminder you suck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, that concludes that draft. Let's take a second here and promote the WonderFan app. Um, guys, this is for our listeners. If you're still on, here's the deal: WonderFan is not just an opportunity to earn rewards for watching and going to games. If you are part of the population that loves to participate in an activity that starts with a G, has 6 letters,
There we go.
it rhymes with ramble, but you don't actually want to, throw your skin on the line, wager something important. Well, you could participate in the WonderFan Pick'ems, which basically has you wagering Wonder. The points you get just for watching sports, for all intents purposes, you didn't even know you had it until you got it and you were going to watch the game anyways. So why not get more of it? Why not be
Mhm.
closer to getting that gift card? If you lose, just watch another game. Who
Yeah.
cares? You're going to do it again.
It's free.
It's free. So
Free.
these are some of the great pick'ems that we have on our app right now, and I want to talk about. So today is Thursday. We have college football coming up this weekend, which is phenomenal. At the very least, we got to talk about the game in Ireland. On the WonderFan app, there is a play. Will the TV broadcasters in the Ireland game mention the word Guinness?
It's an absolute lock. They're
100%.
I mean, I don't think I've ever heard of a game where they're in Ireland or they're in London or Brazil and they're not talking about like local customs or
Right.
culture or something. And white dudes love beer, talking about splitting the G, like it's gonna happen.
They're going to probably drink in the booth.
Yeah,
They're
they'll be
going
wearing
to
scarves and shit.
scarves and Dublin is this time of year. It could be gray. It could be perfect wet football weather. And then
Mhm.
you have a actual serious game. Kansas State, Iowa State is a serious, like one of these teams could maybe squeak in the 12-team playoff. We
Oh
never
yeah,
know. And then someone's going to split that G in Ireland, where Guinness quite literally is water. Like you talk about Coors Light here in America. Oh, that's not real beer. That's just water. That's just watered down alcohol. No, Guinness, they have Guinness fountains in Ireland at golf courses because you might as well just drink a Guinness as opposed to water. You might as well have a quick buzz while you're getting
beautiful,
hydrated.
beautiful.
Yeah.
They're
It's
definitely
amazing.
doing it.
They're for
It's a
sure
lot.
doing it.
It's a
They're
lot.
for sure doing it. Okay, this one is will the TV broadcasters wear leis for the Hawaii Stanford game in Hawaii?
I'm gonna go yes once again for this one.
Yeah.
Uh, Even though it's still in the U.S., it's kind of like its own little thing over there, different customs.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel like it's a rite of passage once again.
Yeah. I think rite of passage is the right word. I was just in Hawaii, by the way, like last week. Hawaii is hands down my favorite place to visit on earth. It is the best vacation spot, the most beautiful group of islands you will ever see. And the fact that you have college football there, it's like the polar opposite of what I envision. Like when I think of a college football breeding ground, like a perfect place for college football, put college football in a place where a lot of people are at when there's
Mhm.
nothing to do.
Nothing to do.
Like, give me a really hot, muggy, late summer setting with very minimal amount, very, very, very few natural monuments, natural nature element, no hills, no mountains, no, just
Yep.
give me flat, nothing, sticky, hot, yuck. That's where I want my college football empire to be, where people are already just sitting and stacked on top of each other doing nothing. That's where you get tailgates. That's where you get people jumping off of roofs onto tables,
Yeah.
drinking at 6 in the morning. That's college football. You don't need college football in Hawaii. Hawaii is perfect. And now you have college football, which is in many ways also perfect. Is two perfects in one spot more perfect, or does the perfect cancel out and give you less perfect?
I think it makes it even more perfect because I made the college graphic this morning. Again, like
Yes.
I said,
Yeah.
I put Hawaii as yellow where they have no business being in yellow other than the fact that you're playing football in Hawaii.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They have no success, but
None.
their success is something no state or region will ever have. Is that every morning you wake up, winner or loser, you're in Hawaii.
Exactly. Yeah, like you fly all the way to Utah State and you lose. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going back to Hawaii.
I'm going home. I'm going back to the islands.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
Utah?
Yeah. Imagine.
Provo?
Yeah. And imagine that. So imagine you're a Utah State player or a New Mexico player
Yeah.
and you fly to Hawaii
You
and
gotta
that's
go home.
your vacation. And then after Hawaii, let's say, upsets you and they're fired up, they're stoked, they're going to go have a huge pig dinner that night and
Yep.
just
Yep.
crush just a thousand Hawaiian local beers. You have to get on a plane and go back to Albuquerque or wherever the hell in New Mexico you just flew from. Your vacation, your 3 or 4 day vacation, is over, and it's
Yeah.
back to this harsh reality that you live in New Mexico.
You took the L. And you got to take a what, 8-hour flight home?
Oh yeah, it is not easy. From here to Hawaii is 5 hours. And it's so awesome because it's every time I board the plane to go there, it's like, all right, it's 2 movies and maybe like 20 minutes of looking out the window, and there I see the Whitecaps, and oh, we're back, and you get off the plane, it's humid. And then when you leave, you're like, okay, I'm done. That was a really nice vacation. Well, now I just go back to Los Angeles, and it's like, okay, well, it could be worse, right?
It could be upstate New York.
It could be upstate New York. It could take you 10 hours, like in your case, to go from you to me and then Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah.
That could be hell. Yeah, yes, I think the broadcasters will be wearing leis in the booth, but more importantly, no matter who wins the game itself, the people of Hawaii, the
Win.
fans, the players, the coaching staff, you're getting paid to coach football in Hawaii. You won.
The best life ever. That's the best life ever.
Best life ever. You're outside every day. Oh, poor thing. We have double days in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You're making
Oh.
millions of dollars to
Yeah.
scream at people on a football field. And then when the season ends in December, because you're not going to a bowl game, you never
No.
really do. Or if you do go to a bowl game, it's a huge deal. You get a 10-year extension. You have one game, and you have the whole freaking winter, spring. You're just in
Yeah.
Hawaii.
7 months of just being
Bliss.
in on the islands. Yeah.
Bliss. Yeah, pure bliss. Um, yeah, I'm very, very I'm bullish that Hawaii is one of the greatest places to be, and that you talk about perfect college football in Hawaii is two perfects makes even more perfect, as you
I
said.
agree. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then going through again. Ah, yes. Game, which college football game will have the highest combined score on Saturday?
Obviously, we're looking at the books here because they are very accurate with their
Yes.
predictions. The
Mm-hmm.
two highest slated games on the board are Idaho State and UNLV at
Yes.
65 and a half, and then Sam Houston versus Western Kentucky at 61 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
4 points is a lot. I'm going to go with the books here because they're a lot smarter than I am. UNLV, Idaho State.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen, guys, anyone can read a sports book and say, "Hey, I think because Vegas has skyscraper-sized hotels paid purely by people screwing up, one of those games that we really don't recognize the teams playing in them, Sam Houston State, Western Kentucky, Idaho State, like that's something of a almost nothing burger of a game for people who don't literally live right in those campus
In
territories
Vegas. Yeah.
in Vegas, in Western Kentucky. You could actually earn gift cards just for getting this right, and you could literally follow what the books tell you without betting what the books want you to bet.
You have like a 50% chance. You probably have like a 75% chance, honestly, if you go with the UNLV Idaho State game.
Literally. Yeah, just take. It's not going to be one of the games that's exciting. It's going to be one of the crappy games is going to have the most points because
Yeah.
some team's going to get
No defense.
no defense, none. They're not practicing form tackling over there. They're all the best players are trying to run up the score so they get transfer out of there to get that NIL money.
Yep.
So you're going to see probably some team get their doors blown off. Yeah. I think you're absolutely
Easily.
right.
Easily.
Okay. Then there was a few more I wanted to get in here.
Pitts.
Yes. Okay. Kyle Pitts. Obviously, well, first, so we, if you're on the Wunderfan app right now, just a quick plug, you can see that we have pick'ems for the NFL preseason games. So which NFL team will have the most rushing yards on Saturday, which will have the most on Friday, which will have the most on Thursday, yada, yada. Will there be a scoop and score? Will there be a kickoff return for a touchdown this week? There's a lot of great contests in addition to who will just win these games that you could participate in without actually doing the 6-letter word that rhymes with shamble. You don't have to be in shambles when you use Wunderfan because you're wagering opportunities to win cash rewards, win gift cards.
There we go.
Okay. This is a fun one. Will Kyle Pitts catch a pass this weekend? What a fall from grace. We're betting on if this specimen, this supposed to be just the perfect product at tight end, is now, his standard is now, will he catch a pass this weekend? Wow.
This is a much harder bet than it leads on to be, simply because it's preseason.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are probably like, of course he's going to catch a pass. But at the same time, he could play 5 snaps and then not see any of the field the rest of the game. But I think this one's more of a toss. I'm personally gonna pick no.
You're gonna pick no.
I'm picking no.
Wow. By the way, to your point, he could play 5 snaps, 5 minutes, get nothing. He could go a whole game without catching a pass as well.
Yeah, true. In a real, not even a preseason game.
In like week 6, we'll see that out of Kyle Pitts.
We will.
That's the Kyle Pitts we know and love.
We know and love.
Would you say the Kyle Pitts experiment is over, or is there one more year you're willing to give?
This is truly the last year for me personally because I did draft him 1 year,
Oh,
and obviously it was terrible.
did you
It
get
was
him this year too?
not this year. I haven't had my drafts yet. We usually do our drafts really late because the inevitable ACL tear of your second round pick.
You're right.
So we do them really late, a couple days before the season starts. But I did do him a couple years ago. I think he might have been a rookie, honestly, and everyone was talking about him. And then
Yeah.
he threw up nothing.
And then he did it again. It was the same thing. It's
Yeah,
like, okay, this is the
yeah.
year Kyle, because new
We've
coach.
just been falling over and over again, right?
Right.
We've been giving him excuses. New coach, and this year, new quarterback.
Okay, but we said that about Ritter, and then we thought, okay, we
Different
have
breeds.
Cousins. You're like,
Different
I have
breeds.
Kirk Cousins, and now I have Michael Penix, right? And so at some point, the experiment has to be over, right? And so this is it. This is the last year before it's done.
Personally, the last chance I'm gonna give Kyle Pitts, but you gotta think about imagine you're playing college football, right?
Yeah.
You have different archetypes of quarterbacks.
Sure.
So we got Kirk. Kirk is like the Sunday church boy, right? He's kind of like the, clean cut, shaven, does what he needs to do,
Right.
get the check down, whatever. Penix, he'll take a few more chances. He's more of a dual threat quarterback. He'll take a couple chances. I think this is the last chance they'll give him. If he doesn't succeed this year, give it like 90, 80, 90, 100 fantasy points for the year. He's done.
Okay. So, all right, on that note, let's have another draft. The Kyle Pitts players of the world. You can't draft Kyle Pitts. What are the fantasy players you kept drafting or you kept waiting on their experiment to finally pay off, but they never did? Like, you kept thinking, okay, this is the year. He's too much of a specimen. It has to work. This coordinator with this coach and this quarterback, I'm taking a flyer on him, and you keep missing him because you're wrong until you finally close the experiment, and he's a failed prodigy. I'll give you
I'm
the
going to
first
start
pick.
with an honorable mention.
Honorable
Because
mention.
this doesn't really fit the criteria, but it's kind of parallel, if that
Sure.
makes sense.
Sure.
This is going to fire you up. Christian McCaffrey.
Are you kidding me?
Hear me out. Hear me out. One of the greatest fantasy players to ever bless the game, for sure. One of the greatest fantasy players ever. I had him 1 year, won me the league. But at the same time, think about last year, or was it the year before, maybe the year before that, injuries. Injury prone. So you waste your 1-1 overall on Christian McCaffrey, and then he gets hurt 4 seasons into the game. He goes to Germany to try to figure out what the hell's wrong with his Achilles, and you're left with your second round pick is now your first round pick in your waivers.
I see. Okay. You landed the plane on quite literally the Hudson. I was ready. I was actually ready to end this stream, but that's very fair. And you did say honorable mention. Okay.
Yes. No, he's not one. He's not
Sure.
one overall.
Sure.
There's rationale behind it.
The rationale is because no one's drafting Kyle Pitts with the first pick, right? You're okay. I see what you're saying. You're saying McCaffrey could be the MVP of your league, but he's only really done that 2 or 3 times in his entire career. The other times you draft him because you have to take him early.
Of course.
You have to take him with like picks, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 at the lowest. 5 at the lowest. Every year, even on the Panthers, Niners, you have to take him early. And if he gets hurt, which he kind of usually does, then it's almost like your first pick is really your second pick. And because you drafted him so early, that second pick, which just becomes default first pick, is like Stephon Diggs or, Chris Godwin. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So it's not like he's not a bust. We're not like giving him chances to prove himself. He's obviously done that 50 times above and beyond.
Yeah.
It's just more so if he gets hurt, then that's kind of a problem. And then like that begs the question, is it even worth taking him if you have the third overall pick this year, you
I
know?
see. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You really landed that plane. That you took off and you hit a bird and engine failure, dual engine failure right upon taking off.
Yeah.
You should be dead in the water. And you landed on the you landed
Saved it.
on the runway. You literally landed on the runway. Good for you.
Saved it. So my real pick here,
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna have to go. I'm between two. I'm gonna go with the first one being the Jets defense. Because being a Jets fan,
Okay.
I know it's a
Yeah.
bit out there. It's
No,
not
it's not. That's a I know where this is going.
being a Jets fan, we have all like we had like
Farley and the you had Sue at one point, right? Jeff Sue?
no, we didn't have Sue. Um, but we've had all these like great defensive players. Then we brought in Rob Sala, and he's like defensive minded head coach. He was a dog on the Niners. Like he's gonna lead us to the best defense ever. And then the defense never lives up to expectations. They'll have a couple good games, 15 points maybe.
Yeah.
But then every other game you're playing, let's say the Chargers, who have a high flying offense back, 2 years ago or last year, and we get blown out.
Yeah.
So the Jets, you always have high hopes for the Jets defense because they have these defensive minded head coach, and then they shit the bed.
So you're thinking not just as a Jets fan, but also as a fantasy guy, you're like, I'm going to take a flyer in these Jets because they're always in these rock fight games. And this is like every year you're like, I find myself in the draft room as well, looking at those like AFC East teams and saying like, it's so cold there. It has to be like, a 12-10 game, 13-9. These games are real. And every week it's like, nope, 35, 38, 10,
Yeah,
blowout, minus
and also
three.
just like the players on the defense too. You're like, damn, Sauce Gardner, Quinn Williams, Quincy
Right.
Williams, all these dudes, these kind of star players. They should be posting like you should 8 points should be the least you get every
Every
game.
week.
But meanwhile, you got like one or two.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Interesting take. I'm gonna go not a defense. Um, this one's gonna freak some people out. I'm gonna go Trevor Lawrence.
That's a good pick.
Trevor Lawrence is someone who I think is not. You just signed him to the big QB money, so you're stuck with him. But you're kind of gonna look around and go, when is he gonna be that guy? And I think every year people are like, I would draft Trevor. Like people are like, I'm gonna draft all these studs, and then I'll just, by the time quarterback comes around, I can get Trevor Lawrence, and this will work out because this is the year that just, he just figures it out. It will click to him. Like he will be that top 5 quarterback this year, and I just feel like every year he throws like 4 or 5 picks one game, then he has like a mysterious injury, and then I see him on the sideline with his hair for another game. You're like, the fuck, does this dude even play? And then it's
Yeah.
for Trevor Lawrence for me.
Defense is always on the field.
Yeah. Oh, I get 2 picks, right?
You're two. Yep.
Okay, Trevor Lawrence. This one's fun. Give me Mike Williams of the Chargers.
Yes.
I don't even know if is he still playing?
He might have retired actually.
He
I think.
might have retired. And I don't want to piss on any. Obviously, he's not dead, but I don't want to piss on the grave. Is he still playing? He played. He retired. He played in the National Football League for 8
Former
seasons.
Jet.
Former Jet, played 8 seasons. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Mike Williams. And here's why. Every year, everyone's you rounds 4, 5, 6. You got freaking Field Yates, Stefania Bell, all these analysts in fantasy. They're saying Mike Williams is the surefire one every year for the Chargers because Keenan Allen will get hurt. And Mike Williams is so talented, so gifted. He's got these huge hands. And it just, like, especially when Herbert just got there, you're like, and now they have this beautiful quarterback with Herbert who has a huge arm.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Williams. This is like every year you're like, and then when you had Phillip Rivers too, like who's going to throw, like, Keenan Allen's going to get hurt. That was the story. Keenan Allen's going to get hurt. So Mike Williams
Next
is
man
the
up.
next man up, and he's so good, and he's fast, and he's big, and he's strong, and he's got these great hands. Mike Williams is the guy. And every year he'd have like one game, like week 1 or 2 or 3, 2 touchdowns, 100 yards. You're like, yes. Oh, I thank God I took a flyer on him. He's great. And then just wet diarrhea for the rest of the year. He'll just run routes and log nothing, like just a cardio game.
Yep,
For
0.
multiple weeks in a row. And then you're like, okay, I got to bench you. Like, this is 2 goose eggs in a row. And then he gives you 30 on your bench. And you're like,
Yeah.
hey, fine. You put him back in. He gives you 3. You're like, I can't do this. And then, he does that every year for as long as Keenan Allen was a Charger, Keenan Allen plays 1 or 2 games, then he would get hurt. And then it's Mike Williams or the other guy like Joshua Palmer. But Mike Williams was the number 1. Same thing. He'd have a 30-point game. He'd Randy Moss someone in the back of the end zone. Justin Herbert throws a dot, 80-yard touchdown to Mike Williams. You're like, of course, it was bound to happen. And then he's a ghost. Gone.
Can't catch. Can't run routes.
No.
Nothing. Yep.
So Mike Williams, I have drafted Mike Williams 4
My-
different times. I've drafted Mike Williams 4 different times.
That's crazy.
Because of that literal, I believe this is the year he will be the number 1. They finally have an offense. He does it every year. Now he's retired. Congratulations on a great career, but not a good fantasy career.
My next one, I'm going to go with something similar, Taysom Hill. So Taysom's the kind of guy he can get in the late rounds. He can put up 60 if he wants to, but then the next week he's putting up 0.
Yes.
You just cannot get a feeling on this guy.
And he also qualifies as a tight end. For
Correct.
whatever reason, I don't know how they pulled this off. The dude takes snaps out of the gun, and they're like, he's a tight end. Because he goes out for 1 route a game that he doesn't even catch it. This guy, you plug him in at tight end, and he has 1 game every year where it's like, okay, there's his 2 touchdowns, there's his legacy game, and then he's a ghost. I hear you.
He had 1 game last year. I think he had like 3 or 4 touchdowns. He had so many. I was playing the person who had him on the team, of course.
Always is, yeah.
And he had like literally 40 or 50 points in our league. And then the next week, nothing.
Dude, I've never been on the right side of Taysom Hill. I've had years where I've taken him. I'm like, I'm crazy about this, because they're like in the little player bio, it would say like he's fresh off of a 2-year extension. He's fired up. They got a new coordinator, and they brought him in because they're confident in Taysom Hill. And you got to remember, he's also a lot older than everyone else because he went to BYU. He had like a mission trip. I mean, he's damn near almost 40, I think.
Yep.
And let me look this up. Taysom Hill. Football tight end. He's 34. He's a football tight end. It's crazy. And every year I'm always on the wrong side of Taysom Hill. I play, if you play him, of course he goes off. Like if the guy's like in a pinch, he's like, I'm gonna put Taysom Hill. My kiddo's on a bye this week. I gotta go with Taysom Hill.
Flex. Yep.
Yeah, or flex, and he just guts you. And then I'll take him, and I'm like, projections say, he's going to go off for 12 against this Miami team who's done horrible against tight ends, and he's not even in the game.
Yeah. 0.3 points. He got like 1 rush.
1 rush because he got stuffed at the goal line, and then they didn't go back to him. That's great.
Yeah.
All right.
And for my next one, I'm going to kind of piggyback off of your Trevor Lawrence one. Evan Ingram.
Yes. Interesting.
Ingram.
Yes.
He's kind of like a Kyle Pitts type of guy. Like he's a fast tight end. He's nimble. He's a little frisky, I guess you could say.
Yep.
But he never, when he was on the Jags, I think he's on the Broncos now. I don't even know where he is. He never got it going. Never got it going.
He had like the classification of being like the most athletic tight end every year. Every year people are like, this guy's the most athletic tight end in the league. They always say if he can stay healthy, he is gonna be the best. And I feel like he'll give you like 3 good games, and then he's just like, oh, he's out. He has a
Mhm.
groin or he has a
Yep.
hamstring, and you're
Hamstring.
like okay, well, I gotta find a sub. And now you're like 4 weeks, he's still hurt. You're like, okay, what was the point of this? What am I
Why did I
doing?
draft this guy?
Why did I
Yeah,
do this? Why did I do this every year? Interesting. Okay. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Laquan Treadwell.
Throwback.
Yes. Remember this guy from Ole Miss?
Oh my God. I
Okay.
haven't heard that name in years.
This was sort of the and another guy you could also throw in this mix is DK Metcalf, sort of. But
Mhm.
Laquan Treadwell was regarded as the best receiver in his recruiting class. And he goes to Ole Miss and he's drafted 23rd overall. And you're like, okay, this guy, he's going to be a Viking. He's so fast. He's such a good route runner. He's strong as hell. He's pretty much just like a DK Metcalf. Like they had just a
Mhm.
receiver factory, just a specimen. Like they're like breeding horses down at Ole Miss between Treadwell, DK Metcalf, and AJ Brown. Right? I mean, it's a factory down there for guys that are big, strong, and move quicker than shit. Treadwell was the first, and it didn't work. And for like 3 years, I literally drafted this dude 3 years in a row because I was like, okay, he's too good for this to not work. Surely it's a play calling thing. He's not getting the plays. Just give him time to get with the offense. How much time did I think this guy needed before it just didn't work? And I was the biggest sucker in fantasy because I would get Treadwell with like pretty early. I'd be like, oh, give me him at the 6. Like I'd be like,
Damn.
this guy. I'd think like he's gonna get in there and play, and he gets like 10 routes in, point 1 point because he caught it, but then he fumbled. And you're like, ugh, Treadwell.
Good pick. That's a good pick.
Thank you. You're up.
You get two.
I get
Snake.
2. Oh,
Snake.
I get 2. Give me Quentin Johnston.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're thinking, okay, this guy's 23 years old. He's the best receiver in his draft class, TCU stud. And you're like, all right, everybody drops a few balls, but if he can just reel them in, he was or is and should be the true wide receiver 1 for the Chargers. And he just never stopped dropping the ball.
He has bricks for hands.
Seriously. You're like, okay, you're like, if he catches this ball, that's a 30-yard, it's a 30-yard reception, and they're moving the chains, and then you open up a whole new possibility of the next play. He would just drop them every single game, and Herbert's like, dude, I can't throw to you. Like, I'm sorry, you're open
Yeah, can't
for
trust
a
you.
reason. I
Yeah.
can't trust you. That's why these randoms like Joshua Palmer and the Lad McConkeys of the world now like rise to the top as wide receiver 1 when Quentin Johnston should be the guy. He could be one of the best receivers in the NFL every year for the last couple of years. I might just be miserable at fantasy football too, by the way. If I'm just revealing just like all these failed picks. I went with Quentin Johnston the last 2 years thinking, no, he'll stop. He'll chill out. No, he is yet to catch a ball that matters. He hasn't chilled out. He continues to not chill out.
I have one similar to your Treadwell pick,
Mm-hmm.
and this is going to be Josh Gordon when he was on the Browns.
Yes. Okay.
Everyone would always pick him up late round because one, he was suspended.
Yes.
And they were like, okay, when this guy gets back, he's going to be a monster.
Right.
And then he ends up coming back and one, either not playing or two, getting suspended again.
And so when he had that stretch, him and Brandon Whedon, right, went for like 3 games in a row. Like they just like both of them were like playing out of their minds. He went for like 30, 40, 40, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, well, when he's not suspended, he could just do that at any point.
He's a dog.
He's a dog. But he was just always drunk and high and fucked up.
Always.
Like
He
all
couldn't
the
stop.
time. All the
Could
time.
not stop.
It's insane.
I'm pretty sure he played high too.
That's what he said. He said he'd have like a shot, he'd have a beer, have another shot, maybe smoke a little bit. Like everyone has their rituals, but like this dude was just playing fucked up.
Crazy.
Crazy.
And then my next one that some people are going to fall for this year, Tony Pollard. They fell for it last year. Had a great year behind Zeke on the Cowboys. Then he got traded or whatever free agency.
Then they made Pollard the guy in Dallas.
Yep. They made Pollard. They made him the guy, and then he sucked. He was terrible.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I think people are going to look at Pollard on the Titans and sort of grimace a little bit and just be like, I don't even know if I want that. I think you were there when he was on the Cowboys and you're like, okay, Cowboys, I guess for a minute were known for having a great offensive line. Just put anybody back there and he'll do great. And he really didn't. He kind of did. He did okay, right? Pollard.
He was good RB2.
He's good RB2. But like people were drafting Pollard with like the 7th pick. You're like, oh my God.
What are you doing?
Dude, it's like, no thanks. I'll just take Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's an Amber Alert for interesting. Oh, I just got a crazy Amber Alert. Somebody's missing and they're looking for him. That's always terrifying. All right. And let's end this with another draft. This is sort of a micro draft. We'll just go bam, bam, bam. Fantasy players that we sleep on every year, but every year they remind us they're still the guy and they're so consistent. But no matter what, even next year, you still don't draft them and you're kicking yourself because like, I really should have. Can I go first?
Go ahead.
Adam Thielen.
Banger. Michael Pittman Jr.
Dude, money pick. Give me Mike Evans. And everyone's be like, dude, no, what do you stop it? Mike Evans every year is always there in the 6th and 7th round. And it's like, you're like, oh, well, he can't, he's one of those guys that can't stay healthy. Wrong. He plays injured and he still logs 1,000 yards every single year. Every single year.
How does he do it? How does that man do it? Jacoby Myers. Super consistent.
Yes, very consistent. Give me Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, banger.
Because he's always on. He's becoming a journeyman now, and so you're thinking, okay, well, this won't work wherever he's going, and it does work. It always works.
It always works. He finds a way. He finds a way. James Conner.
I like that.
Not like he's underrated for me. Underrated.
Yeah, cancer survivor, tough as shit. Kind of a journeyman too. Moving around. Oh, let me conclude. The last journeyman, Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, dog.
Like
absolute dog.
And now he's got his team and he's got his contract. And like I was looking at where he was going, and you know, if you find yourself in a position where you're drafting guys, not quarterbacks, you could get Baker in the 8th round and be just fine.
Easily.
The dude goes for like 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a sneaky dog rushing touchdown every game. Like he could rack up 25 points for you, no problem, and scale that.
Yeah. Also underrated. Found his team now. I'm high on him this year.
Dude, me too.
Super high.
And then watch this. We're both going to draft him like 6 and 7. You know, and we're going to be like, hey, this is we're gonna draft him, and then we're thinking like, what a steal. And he's going to be a disaster just because
5 and 12. Yep.
just because we did this stupid thing. All right, I think that's enough for today. Thank you all for listening thus far. We're going to be way more interesting on social media. If you really did listen every minute of this, you are a super listener. And just for that, you remember, always download the Wunderfan app. You can earn rewards just for watching sports. Get paid to do stuff you were going to do anyways. Wunderfan is truly the app where you can get paid to be a fan. Next week's big week. Evan, the newest member of the Wunderfan team, he will be joining me as we journey down to Tallahassee, Florida. We will be there for the Florida State Bama game. We're going to be doing content. I'm probably going to eat something vile or run or do something, some sort of torture on my body. But regardless, you'll see us down there for a little Wunderfan game day. I don't. Wonder Day, Wonder Gate,
Wonder Game Day.
We'll figure that out. But regardless, if you go to Florida State, get this: the campus all week is an earning zone. So just for being on campus, just because we're going to be there, because Wunderfan has a presence, you turn it on. It's as if you're at a game. You can earn rewards the whole week just for being at Florida State, leading up to the game. And we're going to be doing that all year at different schools and colleges that we will be at or we think has big games coming up. But if you're a Seminole, welcome back. Welcome back to classes. Good luck with the year. Little gift from Wunderfan to you. Use the app. Earn cash rewards just for going to class. Just for being there. You're welcome. And we will see you all whenever we see you. Evan, thank you for joining.
Of course. See you next week.
Cheers.